Shalom everyone. In this video we're going to explore 4 blood moons that occurred from approximately 1492 to around 2015. These moons always occurred during the time of a major event that was going on with the Hebrews. A sign for the coming trouble in 1492, a warning in 1948, a warning in 1967, and a trumpet call for the true Hebrews, starting with the last tetrad that happened in 2015, beginning the great awakening for the true Hebrews. Hallelujah! Enjoy, here we go.
I will shew wonders in heaven above, and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of the Lord.
It's called a tetrad, 4 total lunar eclipses appearing in close succession just a few months apart and turning the moon into an eerie blood-red color. These tetrads have been a rare occurrence throughout history, yet we are now in the midst of one. It began in April 2014 on the Jewish holiday of Passover, when the first blood moon appeared. Soon we'll see the final blood moon on September 28th during the Jewish feast. 1492, the Jews were expelled from Spain, and Columbus discovered America, which would become a safe haven for the Jewish people. In 1948, Israel was reborn as a nation, and in 1967, Israel recaptured Jerusalem.
Now, this reference was a reference that showed that King John II, during 1492, placed the Jews that were expelled from Spain and sent to Portugal, that King John placed these Jews in large numbers on the west coast of Africa. Now, the reason I want to review this reference is because I think we may have missed something when we reviewed it. Now, if you take a look at your screen, if you take a look at the underlined part of the quote here, and actually I think I'm going to start back at a little bit above that, where it says King John II in 1492 expelled all the Jews to the island of St. Thomas, which had been discovered in 1471, and to other Portuguese settlements on the continent of Africa. Now here's where it gets interesting. It says, and from these banished Jews, it says, the Black Portuguese, as they are called. Now, I think what we missed previously was that the fact that these Jews were called Black Portuguese. Now, the reason why I say that is because the term black in Portuguese, what most folks don't know is Negro. So we know that the Spanish word for black is Negro. But what some people don't know is that the Portuguese term for black back then was also Negro. So case in point, if we take a quick look at the Google translation page, and you'll see on the right, I actually did this in reverse here, just so that you can see that Black Portuguese, and this is the English form on the right hand side, that in Portuguese it's Negro Portuguese. So these Jews, so the point here is that these Jews were called Negroes. So in particular, the Portuguese and the Spanish Jews were referred to as Negro.
Same day the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates.
The second 4 blood moons occurred when the Ashkenazis stole the land.
In 1948, Israel was reborn as a nation, and in 1967,
as over 700,000 Palestinian refugees languished in nearby camps, often in sight of homes to which they still held the deeds and a deep desire to return.
most of the deserted and evicted Palestinian villages were erased from upon the earth and were either turned into Jewish settlements or into fertile land.
Of the 500 Palestinian villages in what became Israel in 1948, 400 were destroyed.
These efforts to destroy the possibility of their returning home were countered by the United Nations, which continues to affirm their human right enshrined in international law and morality to return.
A Palestinian who had lost her land or lost his land as the result of the creation of Israel in 1948 cannot come back even for a visit. I can go back to Israel as if I were returning and claim immediate citizenship, having no historic tie, speaking no Hebrew, knowing no one in the country, having no family who ever was there. All that one needs is being Jewish, a religious group like any other.
Here is the second warning in the Tetrats when they continued taking the land in 1967.
For the Jewish people, in 1948, Israel was reborn as a nation, and in 1967, Israel recaptured Jerusalem.
Prior to the Six-Day War, Israel spanned 7,200 square miles, roughly the size of New Jersey, and its population was less than 2% of the entire Middle East. As a result of their overwhelming victory, Israel more than doubled its territory by claiming the Gaza Strip and Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the Golan Heights from Syria, and the West Bank from Jordan, including East Jerusalem. The war may have only lasted 6 days, but its impact redrew the map of the Middle East.
Before we get into the last Tetrat, let's review. We see that the first Tetrat happened in 1492 when the black Hebrews were taken in slavery. And then we see the second Tetrat happened during the time of 1948 when the Ashkenazis stole the land, and in 1967 as a warning. Now we'll see how the last Tetrat was a trumpet sound and a warning to wake up to all the Hebrews.
Feast.
Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the God of Jacob. This he ordained in Joseph for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt.